And that was how Anacris was an amazing grappler and really stood out. And that'll be our last Halloween grappler, meaning I can actually get out of this fit and go back to the usual. He has come, but I must stand my ground. Take this! Yeah, I suppose we're covering them, aren't we?
I know your fans!
Hey, hey.
任務を遂行する。終わりだ。
We are doubling down into Darkstalkers 3 to talk about the main grappler of the game. I wanted to cover both like mentioned before because it is spooky season, to be fair. That, and he had a unique gimmick with zapping, which I can't wait to get into, as he was a pretty standout character. What's good, fellas? Patriarch Panda here. I hope this isn't going to be a commodity every Halloween. Happy you guys enjoyed the last one. There was a ton of positive feedback that I got in terms of either recommendations or people just enjoying it. And I was happy I got someone with a jump scare, that's all I'm going to say. I don't know what grappler you guys think I should cover, but do mind to like and subscribe and use the hype feature, boost it in the algorithm. And just let you guys know I'm trying to get to 5,000 subscribers. That way we cover Zangief. And thank you guys so much for getting me to 4K, right? Thank you so much. It means a ton that you guys enjoying these grappler videos. Let's talk about what a grappler wants. A grappler tends to have lacking neutral because they want to threaten the strike throw. It's one of the strongest 50-50s with the strike dealing a ton of damage and the throw also doing the same. The only way to avoid the throw is to jump. It is that strong. Up until that point, a grappler will have a difficult time, but as soon as they get it, that is when the win commences. Now you guys know what a grappler does. I'm just gonna say, if you guys saw the last video about Anacris, you can actually skip this bit because it'll be the exact same info that you saw from last time. Again, if you also know the game, use the chapter system. It's the best way to go about it. But let's get into the game of today. Darkstalkers!
Stand medium. Aye!
Nice. Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Got in here.
Damn, oh, scooped out the sky. This is close. It's close. Jab out.
Oh,
Air
another
grab.
one.
That's it. Now Raptor wants to straight, but now it's pretty much even up.
Darkstalkers is an arcade fighting game that came out in 1997. Its main themes of horror and spooky things. The casted stage play into the old folk stories and fables. They play into all of it from all around the world, which is cool. However, as a Scotsman, I have one major complaint. In this game, our representation is a succubus named Morgan Ainsland. That name is pretty Scottish. I'm not too shocked about that. However, in our culture, we have no form of succubus. The best we have is a Sura, which is like an old hag that pretends to be young and all that to lure in folks in the woods. Completely different to that of a succubus. They want to kill people for their desires, we'll leave it at that. I felt like they made this character Scottish because they already made her and they want to replace her, whereas our lores tend to have a lot of fays, fairies, will-o'-the-wisps. We're the original for will-o'-the-wisps and stuff like that, so yeah, only complaint, but besides that, pretty spot on for a lot of them. Let's talk about the game and how it functions. It's unique from other 2D fighters. It was a hyper-aggressive 2D fighter, meaning a whole lot of the movement and attacks that pretty much gatling into each other. It was a 6-button fighter and characters had access to strong grounded movement. Some can float and others can dash. You can tech and guard cancel to avoid combos and offense. You can block in midair. Any grounded tool will hit you at the sky. Every character has different health values, so big bodies had more health. Speaking of health, it was unique. When taking a combo, you had this grey bit of your health. If it gets filled, you lost the round. It's also a lot like Killer Instinct, where if you lose the round, the health carries over, so it's all about getting those 2 lives gone rather than winning the 2 rounds. The grey health could recover out of a fight, but if it touched the end, you were dead. You can chain hits from light, medium to heavy, so you go light punch, medium kick, heavy punch, but as long as it went light, medium, heavy in that order, didn't matter. Meter could build to 99, but this never happened. but you can use them to do EX specials, or ES specials as they're called, or EX supers that can cash out with either iframes, setups, or damage. Every character had an install called Dark Force. It enhances the character like getting a flight, super armor. There's a ton of tech in this game as you can see. That's tend to be the case for older games with a ton to explore. Give Guilty Gear 10 years and peeps will find more stuff, I'm telling you. It's time to talk about the grappler of today. The dead man walking, the old cadaver, Victor Von Gerdenheim. Victor is the main grappler of the game, rocking a Frankenstein design, and has some funny animations. The main ones to note are in the normal throw, where he uses his buns to yeet the opponent. He stood at 8'2" with a weight of 230 kilograms. He plays like a traditional grappler with the twist of electricity. He had solid pokes with a ton of ways to get in, and also had a charge headbutt, kinda like a fella I know. But let's talk about his backstory. Victor Von Gerdenheim starts his story by being brought to life only to find his creator, Professor Von Gerdenheim, dead. He originally thought that he had to prove his strength and he would awaken his master, kinda like he thought he was in a slumber. While travelling and fighting, he also was joined by Emily, who was also created by the evil professor. He came back to find the professor didn't wake up despite all of his efforts, and Emily after a few years stopped working, meaning she needed soul power to stay strong, and people theorized that the electricity used to bring Victor alive was the same current that brought her to life, but she had a battery unlike Victor. While searching for the soul power needed to bring Emily to life, he ended up taking his own, sacrificing himself to make sure that Emily can live a normal life among people. It's enough to make a grown man cry.
But not this man. Get back in there, Tia.
In terms of stats, he was one of the tankiest characters in the game and did high damage with pokes and throws. He also has electricity, but we'll get into that later. That'll be the fun part of today's vid. He has a unique way to kill projectiles, and he has very reliable anti-airs. Also, his limbs become bigger in all of his attacks, giving a pure eerie vibe as you can see the muscle. Now that we know Victor and all his backstory and all that, let's get into what made him cool and unique and fun. The main thing to note immediately for today's video is electricity. Electricity on Victor basically made the normal that you did enhanced if you held it. Holding any medium or heavy button would zap the opponent as your new moves would gain properties. All electricity attacks had no pushback, meaning tech throw setups were possible. They also killed projectiles, meaning sending a big hitbox wasn't a bad idea. He also causes large chip damage to those normals as well, so if you need a kill, that'll be the way to go. However, there were some trade-offs to balance the normals. For example, they took longer to recover and now do less damage, but they give you another fun unique property, which is reset potential. Paired with his throw, he can get some good damage off resets like this, and his command grab does solid damage. It can catch rolls. It also had decent Oki, so throw was worth using pretty often. Strike had good ways to cash out, and you could also reset on strike, and you were given a choice on every normal hit. Strike or throw. This was clever as it gave the player a constant choice. Do we opt for a reset on hit? Do we use it to put a hitbox out there and kill projectiles? Do we aim for a chip kill? We stay optimal. It gives you smart decisions on your normals. These tend to be the core around the grappler, where you have to decide where and when to use your normals, but now that you've given us an enhanced different version of them, it means there's a bigger game plan around just throwing out a medium or a heavy or crouch heavy or a sweep that has electricity now for a hard knockdown. It's very interesting. This tends to be the main thing grapplers throw out, and giving us a decision in all of these is very clever. Talk about getting tools, Victor had many. His main way getting in was using jumping 9 HP. This was a godlike crossbody and pretty much spammed at high level because of that hitbox. Look at it. He had this headbutt that would send him across the screen, kind of like Hammerfall as an approach tool, but without the armor or creativity. But the headbutt did destroy projectiles and had upper body invul, meaning it was a pretty solid way to get in. Also got this knee that was hard to punish on whiff, so this was pretty cheeky, or 360 or 720 throw. Also his ES version is -2 on block, so it was pretty decent to represent. And he also had this lariat like move that Zangief has, that kills projectiles, and with the ES version is very active, very hard to deal with for the opponent. If you've noticed, anything that has an electricity effect kills projectiles, and I thought this was another clever way for a grappler to not really be an armored meathead, and that is for its visual design that uses electricity to kill projectiles. All of his normals and specials are treated like this, and I think that's really clever, because it's not only a visual design, it's a feel design. You feel enhanced whenever you do these attacks, so I think it's clever that he took out the time to be all like, okay, if we make it visual and we make it feel good, the player will enjoy playing Victor, and it shows. A lot of people did play Victor. I swear, I love this game series. This was like Guilty Gear before Guilty Gear, right? Honestly, this is peak. This is genuine peak. Final thing to mention was the godly 720. Look at that beast! He uses his cheeks to grab the opponent, and it comes out in one frame, making this a cheeky option to use on offense and defense. He also had another thing to do with his meter, which was the Dark Force. Two versions. There was the light medium and the heavy version. The light medium turned all your punch buttons into a command grab super, and his heavy version made it so that all of his medium and heavies became the close version of those attacks, and they were automatically charged, meaning you could link multiple electricity attacks. This is great for getting offense started, and it's recommended pop these as soon as possible for Victor. After all of this, I have a simple question for you lovely folks, and I hope this is a recurring theme. Guess his tier placement despite having pretty good damage, pretty good offense, being pretty tanky, and having resets galore. Guess. That's right. Bottom 2, right next to Anakaris. The grapplers couldn't catch a break in this game. So what happened? What was his weaknesses? Well, one of the main obvious weaknesses, it's a classic for grapplers. He was big and slow, which is a classic on this channel. It's a trademark at this point. You can get hit pretty easily, and approaching certain characters can be difficult. He has the tools to get in on him, and it's not easy. His main damage and throw loses Oki in mid-screen, so he can't chase the opponent. Not having Oki on your command grab can suck. I mean, look at Raiden. The other issues on his command grab, it was difficult to do. The buffering wasn't nice to new players, making Victor very difficult to play. If the opponent is good at using base mechanics like tech hit, then it kinda makes a lot of Victor's offense fake, because tech hit really pushes back the opponent, meaning a lot of your tools didn't give you that leeway for 50-50s. Also, a big note, matchups could be murderous, man. Like, if you fought anyone that was quick, they were able to go in and out of your hitboxes, and there wasn't really a whole lot that you could do to challenge it. Being able to move around at the speed of sound makes it difficult to hit such a character, so your electricity moves weren't used as much in higher level, as people were more ready for those resets. They were awake at the wheel, so it's hard to really represent it. But the thing is, this is Darkstalkers, a game where if your bottom tiers can cook, like the Anakaris video. Bottom 2 was in that same position. Who are the ones that made them work?
Next, superstar uses the back, but here. One more solid hit.
Keeping the green light.
No first bat yet. It's up heavy though. No, trying to get one bat down, but almost down, out of life. And one more hit, the OTG.
Wow,
okay.
that one's go. Oh, the command grab. Oh, yeah, the air. Nice. Good damage. The OTG.
Oh, connects to it again! Yep! Going forward, really find a way in to what damage
Victor is giving him the hurt right now. Wow.
Down
wow. Just gotta contest with him.
Oh, try to jump in. Definitely try to jump in. And there's a classic heavy punch. Nice pursuit. Just a little bit extra damage. We're not getting loaded. We can't get more hits. Here, because hard to come. Light punch. Anti-air.
Oh, nice. Just keep him in there. Keep him checked out with his gigantic normals and opens him up with that low. Convincing.
As you guys see here, there's some nasty Victor work that you can really put out. You can be a shining star, make it difficult for your opponent to hit you, and you just get stick in like madman. The main takeaway for today's video is that Victor was a super unique grappler with electricity, and using it to enhance himself, almost like he was playing to his main gimmick. The main takeaway for today's video is the fact that Victor used electricity in a very fun manner. Visually and feel wise, it made you feel enhanced. It made you feel like you were ready to take on any situation, being able to kill projectiles or setting up your own resets. It's clever, visually and feel-wise, it's smart, and it gave you a unique way to deal with these. Besides being an armored meathead, it kind of enhanced you to kill it instead of just kind of deal with it. Fellas, that'll be the end of today's video. Victor was a pretty fun grappler, with a fun takeaway being enhanced normals, which I don't think has been explored for a grappler ever. Maybe Abigail, if you count him, but I don't think I've seen this before. Maybe charged heavies on Zangief, but there's not a whole lot of comparison there. Fellas, be sure to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers to cover Zangief. And if you want to support me, check out the membership system. It means a ton. That'll be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy the Grapplers Church, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya. There's gonna be another...